kickboxing movies from the 90s, right? They were everywhere. There's a lot of them. Not necessarily all good, but there's very few that were really good. One that sticks out into my mind, saw it on TV the first time on TV back in the day, in the 90s, early 90s I think it was, early to mid 90s, called Final Impact, starring Lorenzo Lamas and Michael Worth. Michael Worth is still active these days. He's more of a filmmaker these days. He was always good fun to watch in these kickboxing films. And this is a great movie. It's a very stereotypical kickboxing movie about a young guy that gets taught by the ex-champion who's having troubles. But there's an interesting twist at the end that you don't expect. And I remember watching it for the first time saying, oh man, what happened there? Good fun kickboxing movie from the 90s. Final Impact. One of my favorites. Alright, here we go. Right, we're really going back now. I think early 80s when I'd been exposed to this movie, The Man from Hong Kong with Jimmy Wang Yeoh. And I think it was the first martial arts movie that was filmed in Australia, right? You had a few familiar faces there, Australian actors, Hugh Keays-Byrne from Mad Max. Yeah, of course, Sammo, right, who I believe was one of the main choreographers for the movie. Now, Jimmy Wang Yeoh, a very controversial sort of figure in Hong Kong. He had a few things going on with him. This is a very sentimental movie to me. Now, when I was very young, my dad was pretty much responsible for getting me into martial arts films and that whole thing, right? For the person that I am today, if you're a young kid, you get influenced very quickly. And I can't remember, he never showed me the whole film, obviously, because it wasn't suitable for a kid of my age at that point in time. So I was really young. And I think the first very vivid memory that I have is the last scene of the film where Jimmy Wang Yeoh, George Lazenby's the bad guy, right? The ex-James Bond. And Jimmy Wang Yeoh, they had the last battle in the tower, and he puts him in the vault, he ties him up to a chair and puts a grenade in his mouth, and like sticky tape, puts duct tapes it into his mouth, and then he pulls a pin and he jumps out the window, and then the whole floor of the building just blows up, and Sky High by Jigsaw, the band Jigsaw, plays as a credits roll, right? And I always remember this scene, man. And I remember my dad showed me this scene. This is one of the very few scenes he showed me. What else? He showed me Into the Ninja with Franco Nero back in those days as well. That was the first ninja film that I'd seen. When I grew up and I watched it again, obviously for very sentimental reasons, The Man from Hong Kong, one of my all-time favorite martial arts movies, I guess. The fights go on a little bit longer than they should. There's some great fight scenes in here, and there's a few parts in the movie that take place in Hong Kong instead of Australia, and you see like Biao as one of the stunt guys being beaten up and things like that. Great film, fun, and historic in terms of being one of the first Australian martial arts movies. Okay, some of these martial arts movies, straight-to-video American martial arts movies, there are a few that really stuck into my mind and stayed as my all-time favorites. Two movies in particular, Martial Law and Martial Law 2, both starring Cynthia Rothrock. First one stars Chad McQueen, Steve McQueen's son. You saw him also in Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid. He was Dutch, the crazy kid. I think this was one of the first Cynthia Rothrock films I'd seen. Martial Law 2, I think he stands out as my favourite of the two, starring Jeff Wincott, and he's the main dude in this. And yeah, Jeff Wincott, he was great in these American martial arts straight-to-video movies. He was great. He was really good. And there's a few great fight scenes in this film. There's one where he's fighting with double sticks. This was the first time that I'd seen a fight scene with double sticks. And man, I still love double sticks to this day. You know, the reason that I trained in double sticks is it was influenced by good old Jeff Wincott and his fight scene, his dojo fight scene in this movie. Great film, you got to check it out. No Retreat, No Surrender Part 2. Now, No Retreat, No Surrender 2 came out. It had the second title of Raging Thunder. Now, when it came out, we assumed, I think 87, it came out, I remember borrowing it from the video store, new release section, on the same day as Beverly Hills Cop Part 2. So it's like, alright, Beverly Hills Cop Part 2, and No Retreat, No Surrender 2. Let's see what Jason Stilwell is up to after all this time. Well, you put the movie in, and it says Raging Thunder. We thought we had the wrong film. Starring Loren Avedon. Now, Loren Avedon, one of my all-time favourite martial arts movie stars. Sentimental reasons, and also when he was playing in these seasonal films, these Hong Kong/American made productions, his choreography, his fights were beautiful, beautiful. They were some of my favourite all-time fight scenes in films. When I first saw No Retreat, No Surrender Part 2, I liked it. I liked it. It was like a cross between Rambo and martial arts. It was a great film. And again, Cynthia Rothrock was in it again. Max Thayer, Wang Li was in it as one of the bad guys. Matthias Hughes as the main Russian bad guy. You know, I think that was his first film. And I think it wasn't until about 10 years later or whenever, whenever it was, I'd grown up and VHS was being phased out. And I needed to revisit No Retreat, No Surrender 2 again. And there was this one little pissy crap video store and they had it there, and I got it, and I converted it to DVD as I used to do back in the day for movies that weren't on DVD yet at the time. Yeah, I just kept renting this movie. I rented it again, and these people, they were rude. These people at this video store were really rude. I'm glad they went out of business, because you don't deserve to be in business if you're that rude. They claimed that I didn't return the film. One day, I'd gone in there and they said, you owe us $10, man. This film hasn't been returned. No Retreat, No Surrender 2 has not been returned. I said, it's over there on the counter. You can see it. It's been there for like a week. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, the owner, she was behind, and she's like, no, make him pay. Make me pay, jeez. And then the guy goes to me, oh, do you want to buy it? Because nobody rents VHS anymore. Do you want to buy the film? You know, it'll cost you $2 or whatever. And then that woman turns around and says, no, don't sell it to him. Somebody keeps borrowing it. Yeah, me! I'm the only person in the universe borrowing this damn film. So eventually it came out on DVD, and that was cool, and I was happy. Loren Avedon, unfortunately, had not a lot of films after No Retreat, No Surrender 2. Really good guy. Now, in recent years, where you find out about actors and things like that, and you get to have some interaction with them in the digital age. And yeah, this guy, he's so cool, man. Loren Avedon, he's a cool dude. He's got time for his fans. He's everything that a martial arts movie star should be. The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. Kempo Karate Sensei, one of the big boys of Kempo Karate, represented the name of Kempo Karate. Unfortunately, he never made as many movies as what would have been nice. But it comes down to politics behind the scenes with movie producers and things like that. Now, The Perfect Weapon, one of the best American martial arts Kempo Karate movies that you're ever going to see. And it was the first time that I was exposed to Kempo Karate. First time I'd seen it on TV late one Sunday night, and I was in primary school. And it was many years before I got to watch it again to get hold of it, because it was hard to find. I couldn't find it at the video store. I couldn't get it on DVD when DVDs came out for a long time. I just couldn't get it. There was this guy on eBay that was making a crappy VHS copy, but that was the only way that you could get The Perfect Weapon. Double sticks, love the double sticks in the film, and seeing Kempo Karate. And it wasn't until, you become an adult, and I got a girlfriend at one point, and she used to train in Kempo Karate. And I remember saying, oh, Kempo Karate, like Jeff Speakman. And yeah, her sensei when she was a kid, now working as security and teaching out of his school, out of his garage from home. Yeah, I went down and I checked out their school, and he tried to provoke me into a bit of I don't know what he was trying to provoke me into. He was punching centimeters away from my face, trying to get me to do something. I'm not sure why. What he was testing I was doing Chinese martial arts at the time, but he was testing to see what my reaction would be, and my reaction was very calm, as a martial artist should be. And when you're in somebody's home and dojo, you're not going to act like you're too cool for school. So I was very respectful of the gentleman. But a lot of things I wasn't really impressed with at this person's school. And it doesn't matter, that's something for another time. Perfect Weapon, beautiful movie, great American martial arts movie, check it out. So that is pretty much my all-time favourite martial arts movie list. If you haven't seen any of the films in the list, check them out. I love these movies. Each and every one of these movies, I love these. These are some of my favourite martial arts movies. And I think I've wasted enough of your time talking about movies. So, yeah, until I guess tomorrow when I'm in isolation some more and I've got nothing else to talk about, we can talk about something else. Alright, see ya.